Eventually.
Maybe that's
Hit the button, dude.
put the needle on the record.
I was like, what's an 8-track? We got to like click it to the next
What
thing.
the fuck is going on here?
Exactly.
An 8-track. That's great.
Remember
I had an
8-tracks?
8-track player in my
Clunk,
car.
clunk.
Yeah.
No, I had the explosion, the one with that looked like it was a fuck, why isn't this playing this fucking
For real,
fucker?
bro.
Really?
We're going to do that
Okay.
again.
Okay, let's try that again. See, I said I was thinking that wearing something at 30.5 made sense, especially if you remove the decimal point. It becomes 305, just like episode 305 of the Cultra Trail Running Podcast.
From the belly of the Beast Coast, Glastonbury, Connecticut, this is the Cultra Trail Running Podcast. We talk about all the fun shit that happens on the trails that most normal people don't care about. The language we use is f***ing explicit and raw like the trails we run on, so don't listen with your kids! Cultra is brought to you by our Patreons and supporters, and we are 112% listener supported, and support is good.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to the Cultra Trail Running Podcast. I'm your host, Art Byram, and I am joined tonight by Fred Marolo
I'm here.
and Jimmy Mack.
What's good, fam?
Yeah, so we are 112% listener supported, as you guys know, and I guess this was announced there. But I don't know. That's where we are. A lot of stuff going on in the running world in in the Northeast this weekend, right? In the last week. I got out actually Monday for a nice little run there. Got out to went out on the Meta Comet and saw some new trails there. So what have you guys been up to?
James?
I ran Brian Vanderheiden's Macedonia 25K on Sunday. It was
Nice.
awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
That
Very
is
good.
There's some of the best single track I've ever been on in Connecticut and in the Northeast on that loop.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool course. And I think I know Brian had to do a bunch of like out and backs to kind of get it up to mileage, whatever, but the parts it's not, if blue to blue is the toughest, then Macedonia is not far behind because just the amount of climbing. Like there's one point where I think I was just climbing for like a little over a mile or something.
Yeah.
And I want to say it's like 7, 8, it's almost like 1,000-foot climb, I think, at one point. I mean, it's like in the 25K, what's that, 15.5 miles? It's like 3,500 feet of climbing. So yeah. And I got everything. You know what? I had a blast. I had fun. I rolled my ankle. And it's actually fine now. It's a little swollen, but like
Okay.
So Mark Kelly did the 50K.
Show us your feet, Jimmy. Show us your feet.
My feet are actually in really good shape right now.
Whoa. Sorry I asked.
Free, we get that.
What's that?
We got that for free. We don't have to subscribe or anything.
To my OnlyFans, my only feet. Yeah. Jimmy's only feet.
Only feet.
So Tony Banana's going to get an eye full of these at the Nipmuc Marathon. So I'm going to be like, look how good my feet are. Because he's always like, like it's true. Like a lot of ultra runners have bad feet. Like I have been doing a lot of. I keep them short. I clip them. I file them. I mean, I
have the nastiest toenails ever.
I take baths, so I'm like a bath taker. I like soaking in Epsom salt sometimes. Like I was going to do that after the race, and I don't know what I ended up staying at there. I ended up hanging out till like 4 o'clock or whatever. I hung out for like 4 or 5 hours. But Tommy was there, Brian was there, Tommy the Destroyer and Thrasher Julia, Rebecca Rose was there, and a lot of friends and Cultra Patreon family were there too. And I got to meet a lot of new runners. That's the other thing too. People who are like, this is my first trail race, or this is
Oh, that's cool.
I'm just getting into this. Those are the people I love talking to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say the woman who was 3rd place, that was her first trail race.
Really? Was she a road runner or?
I think she was a road runner, yeah. And she did really well. I mean, it's a tough course, man. It's like
fuck. Is that let me ask you something about the course.
Yeah.
Is that I get some of these, like I get Zor and some of these other areas a little bit confused up there or down there.
Sure, yeah.
That's the course that as you're running it, like you feel like you could just snap your fucking leg right off in the rocks, right?
There's a lot of rocks that there's I would say that it's on a scale of 1 to 10 for technicality, I'd only give it probably like a 5. But in terms of like, feet per mile up and down, like it's a 10, dude. Like it's like
Okay.
I want to say the 50K is like 7,200 feet of vert. Which is a lot. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of, I'm not saying a lot of flat stuff, but like here's the thing. There's a lot of runnable vert, and that's what messes you up. So my plan was, I wanted to break 3 hours. And my plan was so Brian has you start out, we do like a half mile out and then a half mile back.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go, or wait, is that what we do or no? Yeah, we do. I think yeah, that's right. We do an out and back to start, whatever, and then we do the loop because the loop is like 6 point. I forget, but it ends up being. The loop is. I forget how he does it, whatever. But the loop is like 6.25, and then there's a mile add-on or whatever. I think something like that, or 7.25, and then it's a mile add-on to get it to 15.5 to get it up to 25K. That's what it is.
Is the beginning start like that just to spread people out so that there's not a Congo line?
Yes, it does spread people because then you do go on to single track for the first climb, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's a mile out and back, and then you do the loops, and you don't have to do the out and back on the second loop, whatever. It was great crowd. I mean, it was like dudes went out hard. A lot of people went out really hard, and I remember I was like, I'm just gonna stick to my plan. I'm not gonna get. Dudes were coming up behind me, and I'm like, go ahead, dude, go ahead. And I think I was counting runners at one point, and I think I was around like 14th, 15th place after the first loop, and then I probably I passed about 8 or 9 runners and ended up 6th. And
okay, cool.
But people were coming back to me because I think they just went out too hard, and my problem was I didn't go out hard enough. Because I was like, I'm really going to do the first loop kind of easy. And then I pretty much tried to run the entire second loop. I mean, you can't, that Cobble Mountain section, that's all hand-on-hand climbing. There's ropes there and stuff. Like Brian puts ropes in that you're actually going to have to like literally rappel up or whatever it's called, scoot yourself up with ropes. And that was cool.
We call that Batmaning.
Yeah. Franklin was at the top, like yelling at people. He's like, grab the rope. Put your foot here. I'm like, whoa, Franklin, chill out, my guy. No, I love that dude. We got to see Franklin too. Got to chill with Franklin for a while.
Did he let you pass?
What's that?
He let you pass?
He did let me pass because I was not one of the people. I did not have wizard sticks.
Okay.
There was a lot of trekking poles out. Not only were there a lot of trekking poles out. Funniest story of the day. Okay, so there was a large group of people from New York that came up. And I'm assuming they were Chinese, speak a lot of English. So they were hiking, and they at one point, a lot of them had trekking poles, and a lot of them were carrying their trekking poles in a way that puts their point sticks out almost directly into my nutsack, which is my biggest fear in trail running is fucking someone
getting nutsacked,
popping a nutsack with the end of a wizard stick or a cheat stick, whatever. And it almost happened 3 times passing these folks, dude.
Wow.
Yes. And I kept saying, on your left, but nobody spoke English. So I felt so bad. So like, occasionally like, there was somebody who would be like, hey, on, whatever. And then say in Chinese, like, hey, on your left, here comes a runner. And I was huffing and puffing. Like I was running that whole section, whatever. Cause I was like, man, I got a lot of, and I put my watch on auto pause.
Oh God.
So I didn't know what time, like, I was like, shit. I missed 3 hours because my watch said like 2:50 something. I was like, I couldn't have lost that much time. Like it stops whenever you go under 30-minute miles, right? It'll pause.
Yeah. But
like,
it's
every
just
time I look down and be like, what the fuck? And then it would start up like 30 seconds later or 10, 20.
It doesn't know if you're going straight up a fucking hill, though.
Exactly.
It thinks like, oh, you've only moved 10 feet forward. Yeah, but I went up 75 feet. I mean, yeah, I got rid of that because it's just, like, I don't know.
What if I was at Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and I got sucked up in that bubble? Remember when they got in the bubble and they went up to the top?
The Wonkavator, I
Yeah,
think it
right.
was.
So like they had no horizontal.
I used to sell those.
They had no horizontal movement, so you couldn't track them on GPS. But vertical movement, I mean, they were gaining mad vert. So that's the thing I kept thinking. I was like, oh, dude, they don't know I'm in a bubble right now, floating up the mountain.
Yeah, those hills were wonky.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, here's the thing: is after every single climb, you get like the most beautiful single track for like a little bit. So it was like very rewarding. You know, like I think a lot of hikers like do climbs so that they can get the view.
yeah.
This race, you do climb so you can get good running.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yeah.
Right? Fuck.
But no, it's a really cool course. And I would like to go back and do the 50K next year because I think that would be a true Sufferfest. And I think, I mean, I've done Bimblers. I did Blue to Blue and I did Trap Rock. So, I mean, this would be, those are like the 4 big ones in the state, right? So I figure, are there any other 50Ks I'm missing?
Well, yeah, you did Bimblers, Trap Rock,
Blue to Blue in Macedonia.
Yeah, and they probably have. I mean, there's some probably in the Forgotten Forest or Forbidden Forest, but that's more of I picture that as a loop.
His are all time, though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And that's not super hard.
No, agreed.
Yeah.
And the only other 50K I can think of is Warmog, right? And that's a road, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a good question. I bet there's got to be other 50Ks,
we should find
right?
someone to put on Patchogue again.
Yeah.
Anybody want to put Patchogue on?
I knew a dude who did it. Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, I could do it again. I just have to charge a lot of money because I have to pay all the police and the park supervisor or whatever. But, we're just dreaming out loud here, culture people. We're just dreaming out loud.
Yeah. Huh.
Any of our listeners over there in the dark sky region of Eastern Connecticut / Western Rhode Island.
Talking to you, Crutch.
So, yeah, Crutch. Crutch, Carly. Good gang out there. Maybe should we do Patchogue again? Here's the thing that bothers me. And I was talking about this with somebody a little while ago because they were like, oh, Live Loud. I forget who said it. They're like, oh, you're just putting on stuff at like local parks now. And I'm like, well, yeah, I don't want to work with Deep. And I told them what happened at Patchogue. And I was like, and they were like, what happened to Patchogue? I was like, so Patchogue, the only reason I started Live Loud running was because I wanted to put on a 50 miler in the state of Connecticut because I think every state should have a 50 miler.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the only reason that was like the main reason I started. And then I was like, and then people were like, oh, you got to have other races and stuff. I was like, oh, cool. All right. Yeah, I guess I do. But that was like my own, like that's all I really wanted to do was put on a 50 miler and have that be like a standalone 50 miler. But like, you can't do that because it's like, you got to have other distances. You're not, you're going to lose money, blah, 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 all that bullshit. But I would really love if there was a standalone 50 mile or like a 50 miler in this state. Like, the butt, I guess does the butt count?
The butt.
It starts in a liquor store parking lot.
I think that gives it street cred immediately at the ass crack of dawn,
5:11 a.m. right, or whatever the sun rises on that day.
How are you gonna? You can't beat that, right? You can't beat the butt.
Yeah, you cannot beat the butt.
Yeah, and I don't know. I wish we could just reach around the legislation somehow,
Yep,
or the obstacles.
Get to a happy ending that way.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. It seems odd. Like I would think somehow that there's another 50 miler that we're just like missing somehow. I know there's a lot of like not races, but there's a lot of runs that are 50 miles that are fun, right?
Like last weekend.
Last weekend, yeah.
The Cross-Connecticut
Let's talk
Run
about
for Mental Health Awareness.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
Or the half cut, right?
Or the half cut.
Yeah. So now, Jimmy, I thought I saw your photo in that. Did you, were you there?
Yes. So I was actually, my plan was, this is why it's so great to be like a bachelor sometimes. So my plan was to wake up and go do the ramble. I was like, I'm going to go a little early and get a couple extra miles in, whatever. I was like, I want to do like 7 on the day would be nice. Cause I was like, I don't want to run too much. Cause I'm running Macedonia tomorrow, but I still want to do something. And I want to go with my legs 100% fresh because I don't know. I always feel like I race better when my legs have a little bit of fatigue in them, whatever. I don't know. It's just a thing. So
A
I was like,
little
all right,
patina.
little rusty, a little bit of rust.
Hmm.
And so that didn't happen because I slept in. So, so I'm like,
Okay.
okay, I'm gonna completely restructure my day now. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna go to a 9 a.m. yoga class. Like I'm gonna go like get a bagel. Like I had like a really kind of lazy morning and shit. And like I think I finally got back to my apartment, maybe like noonish or something like that. And then Bessic, I was like, yo, dude, I didn't run yet today. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna run, but I'm gonna run with Will. And I'm like, right. Will put his tracking stuff on, and then Bessic was like, here's the link to whatever. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, he's like, I'm gonna actually go meet him now. So he met him in Cheshire and ran with him for a minute, whatever. I think over like Cornwall Avenue type area, whatever. And then and I'm tracking him. So I'm like, man, as soon as he gets to like the Hamden border, like South
Hmm.
Brooksvale Road or whatever, I was like, I'm gonna start running because then I was like, he'll only be 3.5 miles away from me. I'll probably meet him like, 2 miles or whatever.
Yep. Mile and a half.
Yeah, exactly, whatever. So, but as I leave my apartment's right on the canal trail. So I literally go down, boom. As I'm running, within 3 minutes, Alex Brown's cruising by. I missed the leader, the woman who won, Jenny. She ran like 9 hours and change, whatever. Alex Brown was right behind it, was like maybe 15 minutes behind
Hmm.
her.
With
And
Caitlin,
then
wasn't
so
she?
that's the thing. So after I saw Alex, I got to Micro, and Loprezi is having a beer there with Mike Perkowski. And I'm like,
Oh,
what's up,
okay.
dude? So I chilled out with them for a minute. And as I'm chilling with them, Caitlin comes running down
Hmm.
with Rob Tagliaferri. He's got a moving aid station. So Rob ended up riding 94 miles on his bike to support them that day. He woke up at like 2 a.m. or something and rode his bike all the way up to the start line or whatever, or like met them near, I guess, after they started. I don't think he actually made it to the start because they started at 4 a.m. or whatever.
Hmm.
And then went back down to New Haven. So he ended up doing 94 miles on his bike on a fully loaded. Now, think about a camping gravel bike, but instead of
Yeah.
like camping gear in it, it's all like soda and like,
Oh, so he's got
yeah, like Oreos and
he's
shit,
got
whatever.
panniers.
So he was literally just riding around, just supporting everybody, stopping, going back. So they came down. I got a picture with them. That was fun. Talked some shit with them, and then ran up the trail and saw Franklin and Lauren.
Hmm.
Um, and
Yeah.
then a minute later, Will was like right behind them. So I finally caught up to Will, and then Will was like, "Yeah, I'm doing okay, I guess." And he's like, "I kind of want like something cold." I was like, "Oh, dude, Rob's got it." I was like, "Let me run up ahead to Rob." Rob was helping out Franklin and Franklin and Lauren at that point. So I ran up to be like, "Hey, can I get a Coke for?" So he gave me a nice cold Coke for Will. Will was like super psyched for that, whatever. Yeah, it was. And then I ran with him all the way down to God, like all the way down through Hamden. I didn't go to the stop. I stopped like before Stop and Shop and went back to my apartment because I was like, I don't want to end up doing more than like 8 miles or whatever.
Mm.
But yeah, it was rad, dude.
Oh,
Like,
good, good.
yeah.
So
And
that
and
was a
low
run
key,
on the, just for people who are listening. So there's a trail that goes the Farmington Canal Trail. It basically goes from the Massachusetts border to New Haven. So it starts right at if you look at the top northern border of Connecticut, there's what Massachusetts refers to as the jog. And we call it what do we call it? The cut. there's a little notch. I'm sorry, we call it the notch. We call it the little notch there, and it goes from there to New Haven, like right to Yale, and then I guess you guys take it right to the water, basically. So it goes all the way across the state, and it's allegedly around 56 to 57 miles.
mm-hmm.
And so I don't know. It's cool. If you think it's 57, it's weird because if you add 57 to the cut 112, you get 169, which is the number of towns in Connecticut, which is fucked up. But if you call it 56,
numerology, everybody. This is arts numerology.
then if you call it 56 and you double it, you get 112. So any way you look at it, it's fucking, it's right there. It's the way the world is. It's a great harmonic.
I love that.
So.
I love that. That's the golden mean. It's
the monkeys. The monkeys.
Is that like a Fibonacci sequence kind of thing going on there? Is that what we
Yeah, it's like this is like 8.5 or whatever.
I did knock Kent off my list.
Oh,
So the 169, the rules are wherever the race starts.
yes.
Yes. So I have Meriden, which I didn't think I had.
You didn't do you never did the tradition run there?
No, but I
Escape
remember,
from the tower?
so that's the one. That's the Escape from Castle Craig.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the 7-Eleven run ends in Meriden, and I have it on Ultra Sign Up listed as Meriden because that's where the pickup point is for the shuttle bus. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to do the 7-Eleven run next year because it's on a Friday. July 11th is on a Friday next year. So the 7-Eleven run will be back for 2025.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So
good to know.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell them
Tell
you're
your
doing that.
friends.
Tell them you're taking a PTO day that day.
Either that or we're coming after your friends and your family.
Put in for it now because I don't want to hear that shit like, oh, I can't get off of work. I'm like, well, I mean, you had a year.
Yeah, I didn't know what date it was going to be.
So technically that
it's 7-Eleven people.
Yeah,
okay?
that race is technically Vernon, so I have Vernon. So I have Vernon, Meredith, Kent. So I think I have 14 or 15 towns.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's funny because I said I was going to do that Suffield thing. Like I said, I woke up and I woke up Saturday. Like I had a bunch of things I wanted to do Saturday. I was like, I could drive up to Suffield. Like if I get up early enough and go do that 5K up there or whatever. And I forget who. Oh, John Morissette was like, "Where the hell were you, dude? I came and did this race because you said you were coming." I was like, "Oh, I'm such a dick. I'm sorry." That's
good. That's good.
Yeah.
The things that you do, you tell people you can't drop out at this aid station.
Yeah.
And all the different things we can tell people. That's good.
Oh, guys, Ellie's teaching a class right now. That's why she can't make it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's so intellectual.
Yeah.
Well, she is a TA, right? So, I mean.
Yes, she is. Yeah.
She's teaching about the.
That's teacher's assistant. Okay.
Integumentary
Don't get
system.
any other.
Yeah. Not TNA.
Hold on. She's teaching about the integumentary system. The epidermis. Oh, remember that joke back in school? Your epidermis is showing.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's suppose your patient has a burn. I'm like the picture she sent me. I enlarged so I can look at her screen here.
Suppose your patient has a burn on their
suppose your
underneath
patient
their shorts
has a burn over their entire left arm that penetrates the epidermis down to the level of the stratum basal, but not through that layer. A, would your patient be bleeding?
Desitin.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it cauterizes. Does it cauterize itself when it's that deep?
I don't know. I'm going to say no.
Would your patient be at a risk for infection?
Yes. Yeah. Fuck yes.
Yeah. Would your patient need fluids?
Always.
I imagine because my arm burned that bad, I would have pissed my pants. I'd be like, "Yeah,
I was going to say, doesn't everybody need fluids?"
Are they wearing a still suit?
Question.
I may have shit myself too. I might need some food. I don't know.
It depends.
Oh my God. Thanks, Ellie. I can't really get content out of your teaching stuff here. This is great.
Wow.
But yeah, she's teaching about first, second degree burns here at where's she at? Colorado? Northern Colorado. So she's up in Greeley. And these look like freshmen in this class. Yeah. Oh. These look like young kids. Here, I'll show you guys.
Oh. Thanks, Jimmy. Okay. It looks like a microscope.
It's a microscope, but now it's like it's all washed out trying to show this kid here. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. They look like young kids. They look do you know why they look young? Because they look disinterested and too cool for schools.
Yes.
Anyway, thanks, Ellie. Thanks for the content.
Yeah.
The ones I love that you 57 plus 112.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing. I mean, it kind of works out that way,
I wonder if they put the results. I don't think the results are up yet, right?
Of the
Cross-Connecticut.
Don't know.
I don't know. It's because it's kind of not really a race, right?
Right. But it's a challenge.
Yeah,
it's definitely a challenge.
And they do keep
here we go.
And they will cut you off if you're too slow. So
Jen Higgins from Old Saybrook, 9 hours 45 minutes overall winner.
Pretty okay.
Good. Yeah, Alex Brown.
Hold it. Just a minute. 9 hours 45 minutes. You said?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's 57 miles.
Right. This says 56, but yeah, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. I like 56.
Then we have Alex Brown.
Yeah.
From Vernon.
Yeah, I know Alex.
Michael Lepresti. Yeah. Michael Lepresti from Norfolk. So Alex was at the race. Here's the thing. I saw Alex Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Give him a high five doing this as he was coming down the trail.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday, he was volunteering at Brian's race. And then last night he came and did the stairs workout. So I saw
Yes.
Alex three days in a row.
Yep. I saw Alex last weekend.
So Alex is a Patreon, right? So that means he got his money's worth.
I don't know if he is a Patreon.
Oh no? Well, Alex, you're gonna be a Patreon after today.
Fucking
Get
better
in there,
be.
Alex. Come on.
He is. He's a good runner though. I ran I ran
Definitely.
People's Forest with him a week ago.
Hmm.
So
There we go.
and he kept up with me,
Yeah.
which is pretty fucking remarkable in my book.
We got second place woman is Caitlin Rossi.
Yeah,
And then third place
like a boss.
was Angelia Rose
Oh, okay.
of
Okay.
North Haven here.
All
We got
right.
Lauren, fourth women, Joe, Hundo Joe was
So
third guy.
Sophia Loren.
Listen, Hundo Joe was third place dude.
There you go.
There you go.
First in our hearts.
Yeah. And then that young kid who's in the Guinness Book, I believe he's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the youngest kid to finish a 100-miler, right? This kid Leo
Oh,
Eminette.
okay. Yeah. How old was he?
He's 15. He was eighth. He was fourth dude here.
Okay.
Eighth overall. He's 15 years. I think when he was 14, he ran a 100-miler last year, right?
And Howie didn't do that?
I don't think Howie ran Boston at that age, but I don't think Howie ran a hundo at 14.
Howie ran I know he ran 100K.
Yeah, he ran Warmog when he
at
was
that age.
just a tight.
At least younger, I think.
Let me look up and see if there is a Guinness entry for
But it was actually, here's the thing, is that it wasn't certified, or there was something was slightly I don't know, got messed up with it. So but we do want to let's see, Jimmy, while you're doing that, that's good that you were there to run and support, and that Alex was there to support as well, right?
yes.
Because that's pretty cool. And I think one thing that we can all agree is that support is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
It's necessary art.
it is.
It's not just good.
That's right. And
It's our
sometimes
lifeblood. Support.
as a supporter, an athletic supporter, you can be even more famous than the people crossing the finish line, right?
You can.
Allegedly, yeah. In our books, definitely. So let's see. Okay. I think we want to take just a few minutes, and we're gonna. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jimmy.
No, this guy Leo is not. I thought somebody had said that. But I maybe because he did. I think he did his own 100-miler. He didn't do an actual 100-miler. We have a child here named Hunter Hart, who back in January ran Brazos Bend 100 in 31 hours 34 minutes.
Yes.
14 years old.
Yeah.
And then there's a kid who is 13, Gabriel Abbott, who is looking to, I guess he's going to run something soon to try to take the record. Let me see here. So yeah, it looks like he's from Ohio. I don't know. I guess he's going to be this
All
is
the young dudes.
Yeah, so this kid is signed up to run something, and he is trying to take the record, I guess, from Hunter Hart. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. There's other kids who have done it, but it looks like they haven't done 100. It looks like they haven't done official hundreds. You know what I mean? Like I guess Guinness will probably only take if it's 100 official.
An actual 100.
Yeah.
I mean, way back in the day, like back in the, I would say like 2006 or 7, Aaron Doman, Wendell and Sarah's son, ran 100 miles at across the years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know like how long he took to do it. I think he was just sort of casually doing it, but it's not casual when you get up to 100.
Yeah, yeah. There's not a lot of casual.
I think he was like 11 or 12 probably, but you know, he might have done it over 3 days.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. It's still, you know what? That's still a pretty cool thing, assuming that it's, you know, of course we encourage and hope that all the people aren't being forced to do this. By parents living vicariously through them. And
God, you would hope
we're not saying that this was at all the case. So
It's not always the case. There was that 5-year-old kid in India who was like being forced to run marathons by his parents, I think, to get famous.
Yeah.
That was not good. But
Yeah. The
I mean,
Byram
I know
kid.
Aaron's parents were both ultra runners, and I think he just thought it would be cool to go 100 miles. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Um, yeah, lots of good things. So we do want to recognize our Patreons tonight, and those are the people who help support our podcast. Kinds of gives us a chance to let us know who you guys are, so that we're not just like it helps us know that we're not talking to ourselves. So when you sign up to be a Patreon, you don't really get a lot from it. Like it's not like we're gonna you don't get special episodes. There's no firewall. We open up all of our excellent high quality content to everybody. So
You get our eternal gratitude.
we do, yes, which is priceless, right?
It's priceless.
So that's right. So we do want to recognize our Patreons, and we're going to get through this pretty quick tonight, I think. We're feeling really fast. So like, if you don't want to listen, you just fast forward like for like 90 minutes or so, and we'll be done. We're going to work through it here. So to start out with is a gentleman we just talked about, hashtag Hundo Joe. Next up is Big Money Albert Star Galactica.
Yeah. You just heard from him.
Yeah.
He's doing well. Yeah.
Yes. We're coming out with a line of clothing inspired by him. I'm working on that as we speak.
Oh, that would be awesome.
It would be, and
it
will be. Colors. It will be fucking awesome. Okay. 113th mile, because why? You know what? Just got to show me up one time. To New York, Bonanno, Defying Gravity. Sign up today for the Nipmuc Trail Marathon. We're going to be there at Alpacaville, so can't wait to do that. A Marcus.
Not the Marcus. A Marcus.
A Marcus. Amy Jennifer Hanlon's friend. Amy Mauer Power. And I think, I don't know why Amy Hanlon's not there, because I know that she just put it through, and I think it all should have worked out all right. But I know she's
coming back. She's coming back.
She is. It was just technical difficulties we're working on. It's probably something we did to fuck things up, but we'll figure it out.
I should say Amy Mauer Power had some technical difficulties over the weekend. She was running a 6-day. She had a bad foot. She had to pull out of it. So hope you heal fast, Amy.
Yeah.
Get back into it.
Gotcha. Get the blades spinning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we wish her all the best. Amaya Sorensen. Saw her a lot this summer over at Wickham Park, which is like God's country for cross-country runners.
Hell yeah.
Amy Tide, the pride of Plymouth. Angelia Rose.
It was sort of unfair that she could fly down that Farmington Rail Trail, because she trains on it all the time. So it's like home court advantage.
It is. It's more downhill for her.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Hi, Anna G. I was out in her territory the other day. I was in Peggy and I went for a hike at Sleeping Giant. And I was reminded once again what a difficult place that is, and the fact that humans can actually survive there and traverse that place is a testament to your greatness. So if you run there, God bless you. Let's see, Antone de Betancourt, even though it's illegal, at least it is in Wimbledon. I know you can't bet on that. Maybe you could bet on pickleball. I think that would be allowed, or wiffle tennis.
They don't let you bet on Wimbledon in England because they bet on everything. They're betting on our election, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the odds. I saw that the bookmakers said that Oasis has 4-1 odds that they're going to break up during the fucking tour. And I was like, I kind of want to bet on that. Like, okay. I'm like, I know they're not going to make the whole tour.
I want to get on that bet.
So what the fuck is with Oasis? This is like, I just like, it's like everywhere you turn, there's like somebody saying some shit about Oasis. Like, oh, they canceled my Airbnb because I was there and I said, I just said, I'll be just confirming and I'll be there for Oasis. So they canceled it and then charged they raised the price by like 4 times.
Sure. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How much are tickets going for?
What did you hear about the whole ticket thing? There's an inquiry about it because they did that surge pricing.
Allegedly.
Ticketmaster just fucked people over. The more interest there was, the more they charged. So, and the more scarcity there was,
What is it, like Uber?
It's worse.
Yeah, they got rid of it used to be better when like some fucking skank banker would throw us a bunch of money to go stand in line at the Garden and buy tickets when they went on for sale, and you go and you buy as many as you can afford.
The scalpers who had the tickets in their jacket. Yeah, you need 2.
Who needs 2?
Cheaper than now. With corporate ripoffs.
Yeah, now you're getting fucked over by Cultra.
I remember the days you could go to Strawberries and buy concert tickets, and they were paper concert tickets, of course, because it was all analog. But you might pick up a couple of cassettes while you were there.
Yeah, or you mail in.
It was called something beside. It was like something Ticketron or something, right?
Ticketron.
Like,
yes.
Ticketron. I remember when I was kid. Yes.
And you mail in an envelope that says "Tattoo You," a self-addressed stamped envelope, and then they send you back, and you might win tickets to the Stones. Right.
The Grateful Dead ticket sales in San Rafael went on for years. If you wanted to go to a Dead show, because they didn't want to go to Ticketron, so you wanted to go to a Dead show, you would just mail order tickets. You had to send an envelope, and you could put artwork on it and stuff like that, and they would send you tickets back in the mail.
I knew a woman who worked for the Grateful Dead, and she used to talk about that. She's like, when they would announce a tour and then we would start doing the mailer, she's like, it would take over the entire, it would just be, there'd be envelopes and she's like, it would be absolutely insane. And I'm like, I can only imagine because yeah, I could, I mean, the Dead were playing giant places back in the 70s, right? Yeah.
My sister, is an artist. She lives in Santa Rosa now, but she lived on the East Coast then. And she would put so much artwork on her envelopes that the people at GDTS, Grateful Dead ticket sales, got to know her, and they would send her first or second row tickets.
Nice.
All the shows. It was awesome. Yeah.
Did they frame them? Because I know Mad or Thrasher magazine used to do that. If you did really cool artwork to send a letter to the editor or whatever, they would post your pictures, whatever. And I remember being like, dude, some of these kids are taking hours and hours to just decorate the outside of the envelope.
Yeah, she did. She definitely did.
Oh, that's so cool.
I can remember being at the Garden in the front row and third row at Meadowlands and stuff for some of their shows, and it was all her.
What summer was it? I remember guys were telling me, they were like, they played Sugar Bush, and then it was 3 days later they were playing Mountain View or something. He's like, so we had to drive from Vermont to San Francisco, and it was it's 48 hours minimum. He's like, but we did it with 4 dudes where we all did shifts of 12 hours, whatever, just to get from one Dead show to the next across the country. I was like, you guys are crazy. He's like, oh yeah. And then the Dead went to Alaska one year and we all went to it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you guys are awesome. I knew so many Deadheads living and there were so many out in Oakland and Berkeley.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well,
and old ones too, ones who have been going, I met dudes who had been to the acid test in 68, 69 and stuff.
Those are the OG Deadheads, right? Yeah.
I'm like, what do you remember about it? Absolutely nothing.
Not much.
Even if I did remember anything, I wouldn't be able to tell you about it. I was like, all right, cool. That's great.
I might have been there.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have Austin Frank, hot dog salesman from Texas. We have Azam
Shazam
Pulotov, got Ben Nalette, we got Ben with one N, and we got Ben double N Griffin. So he's out there getting done. I mean, I was thinking fuck, I wish we could all be as good as Ben Griffin, right? If the world, can you imagine? Fuck, the watermelon sales would go through the roof.
Everyone would eat their colors.
Yeah, charity would thrive.
Race director, charity.
Yes, is it all the dogs? It's all the animal. It's an animal shelter, right? That he does a lot of fundraising for in the Berkshires, right?
I think he does. He helps out a lot of different groups.
Yeah, he helps out multiple charities.
Yeah. He has more charities than ends. So
Oh, that's
There you go.
in his name. So we have the Berkshire Trailheads.
Repping the Shire.
Oh yeah. Got Bessic Hustle, the aforementioned. You know what, Bessic? I'd love to hear another one of his. Every once in a while, he used to call up the 203 Dog Gent, right? And that's where you get a song stuck in your head and you call up our number 203 Dog Gent, the Culture Karaoke Hotline, and we play the song that you sing on the air. You become podcast famous, we become entertained, and the song gets taken from your head. So it's a win-win-win-win-win.
And you have the option of being anonymous, where you have to try to guess whose voice it is, or just announcing yourself and being even more famous.
That's right. It's kind of like The Mask, right?
Yes. Yeah, you could be like the Masked Singer. You could just say like, okay, this is Taylor Swift. Here, I'm going to sing this song.
That's right. Fuck again. Right? Jeez.
Never, ever, 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 ever again, I think is what you would say. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Bikini Chicken. Bill Gibbs. I should have called Bill Gibbs because I was just running up in Farmington there, up over on the Metacomet there, an area, Rattlesnake and Pinnacle and all that stuff. And I know that's kind of his jam. Bill Gilpatrick, the Patriotic Patreon. Thank you for that. We have Bill Odendahl, Mr. RD of Lake Warramug. And
Lake Warramug, which I think is about to open. I think he's been promoting it again. By the way,
I'm bummed. Oh, sorry.
My sister's going to run it this year. She's never run an ultra before. Mercy.
What?
Coming from California, she's running Warramug. She announced it to me. So I'm going to announce it to the world.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Put it out there and good things will happen.
We'll have to sit. Cool. We'll have to go. We'll have to serenade her with what did she say? Ruben and Charisse, or no? Run for the
Janis
Roses?
Joplin.
Mercedes
Benz.
And any Grateful Dead stuff, she would love to hear. So
I was gonna say she sang Run for the Roses on karaoke once.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Yep, she did. Well, that's a good memory, Jimmy. That's good.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Very good.
I'm okay. I got a few brain cells left.
Speaking of Musiac, we have Brian Musiac. Listen to him.
Whoa.
We have Brian O'Hanlon. He's Amy Jennifer Hanlon's Irish cousin. B. Rice Henley. Celeste Fong a Ding Dong, who is...
I miss Celeste. I miss her.
I do too.
It's only been a couple of shows that I haven't seen her, but I miss her.
Yeah.
Come back, Celeste. Get back here.
Yes.
Celeste says goodbye, gets in her car, drives away. Within 3 minutes, I miss her. So
yeah, get back home, Celeste. Your mama's waiting for you.
Yeah. Won't you please come home? We got Sherry Bilby. Sherry Bilby. We have Chris Rosal, knows all, sees all. We have Christine. Chinning. Wow.
Oh, my bad.
I can pause.
Christine.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy. You're stuttering. And let's see. We have Chris Coangelo. So Crisco. And Fred, you want to take over?
Sure. Clement Senton Chunks from lovely Rochester. Oh, this is Jimmy's. I don't know. Like, how did I get in?
Sorry. Jimmy, take over. Roll over, Rova. Move over, Rova. Let Jimmy take over.
Oh, wait, what am I looking at? I can't see the
you can't see the screen.
Oh, I have to click on Art Byram's screen here.
That's right. Yes. You have to get rid of Facebook,
there was
Candy
an
Crush or whatever the fuck you're on.
No, there was an update to Zoom.
Okay.
And it looks really expensive in here now.
It looks expensive?
Oh, yeah. Oh, hello, Clarice.
All that for that. There you go.
That was worth it.
It was worth it.
Right, people?
You want me to take over?
Oh, please, Jimmy.
Sure, go ahead.
All right, Crutch Lee, the man, the myth, the legend. We're due for a coffee date, Crutch. Dave Hoople. You know what? Dave Hoople last night taught me how to play pickleball, y'all. Okay? I played pickleball with Dave, Wanda, and Michael Longevity And I laughed. My abs are so tight from laughing. That's all I got. That was the workout, was just laughing. But I finally played pickleball. I finally, one of my 2024 bucket things I needed to
Never
tick
done
off.
that. Never
Yeah,
played pickleball.
But you know what? It's actually really fun. The noise that when you hit the ball with that weird paddle, that noise is, I love that noise. It's like a clonk. I don't even know how to explain it.
I know. I was just going to say that the noise is so odd, like
It's
so
not
much
like a,
different from
yeah.
tennis or paddleball or anything. Such
But
a weird noise.
when you hit it perfect, it has a different noise. Like you can tell if it's a bad hit. Like you'll hit it, you'll be like, ah, shit, like just from the noise.
Don't hit it on the label, on the back
What's that?
side of the label.
There's no label.
Yeah, if you hit it on the label, you probably break
You
it.
crack the bat. Is that
That's
what you're
right.
saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I watched a dude get salty after he lost the game. He broke it over his knee, and I was like, oh man.
Really?
Yeah. And but they were all trying to get me. They're like, dude, go on. You can get them on Amazon for like 25, $30. You can get good paddles. And I was like, I'm just gonna borrow paddles until I like really want to play this sport. But I was like looking at people's footwear choices. I'm like, how do you dress for this sport? And I'm like, you know what? It seems like you can either dress like a total stoner or you can dress like an athlete. Like you can dress like a
You
like
could wear your Vans.
yeah.
Wear your Vans and
I wore my skate shoes. I did wear skate
Yeah.
shoes
There you go.
Yeah,
Skate shoes.
right on.
That'll work.
because I figured running shoes would be too like
Yeah.
wouldn't be
Don't-
as stable or as like I don't know, something about skate shoes on that type of surface is real grippy.
Yeah. Like you don't want to wear your Hokas,
Definitely not.
but I mean, if you wore a super shoe, you might be able to get some big vert there, right?
Yeah, but I would feel like you would roll your ankle. As soon as you stop to try
Yeah.
to cut, you would just be like and break an
You
ankle.
don't have to.
You
You
wanna
just-
have-
Stop thing.
Just
You wanna
fucking
have
jump up
low-
and down.
I would say you want to have low drop,
Zero drop.
yeah, zero. Well, all skate shoes are zero drop, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Keds, the original zero drop.
Exactly, right?
Okay.
David Hyde, David Kaplan, Ellen Cretella Cannell. Oh, Ellie Pell,
Ellie Pell.
Eleanor
Teacher.
Pell. Hello. I wonder if her
Professor
kid.
Pell.
I wonder if her kids call. Yeah, what do they call her? Professor Pell? What do they call her? What do they call you, Ellie? We have a lot of questions for you, Ellie. You better.
We have questions. Get back
We
here.
got lots
guess
of questions.
So I guess we can't record on Tuesday nights if we're gonna get Ellie on here.
No.
We're gonna get our one celebrity, celebrity running friend. We can't do Tuesday nights anymore.
Yep. Yeah. Des Linda doesn't call me back anymore. So
You had Des
Just-
on, huh? I looked at like a
Yeah.
bunch of shows.
we did.
and
We
I'm
had
like, wow.
Des Linden on. True people. True fucking fact.
Yeah, and Art like trolled her a little bit about like either like peeing or pooping on the run and stuff. It was like,
No, I said that. I asked the question. I said so because she ran Boston Marathon and Shalane Flanagan had to stop and use the porta john, and Des kind of tried to slow the pack down and told Shalane, "Hey, I'm here for you, girl. Whatever you need, I'm here to help." And so I just wanted to know how the conversation went when like the run-in, right? We're running along, everything's great, and then all of a sudden, like Shalane says, like, I gotta starts to break the ice about this conversation of the porta john. And I wondered if they have like hand signals worked out. Like, does she hold up one finger or two fingers? How do you like communicate that kind of thing on the run? So we got all the details of that. So you can tune into our episode, blah, blah, blah.
yeah, something.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's 153 for some reason, but it might be 215. But it was just before Boston, not this year, but the year before. So yeah, and we got the Mayflower here. So
There you go. Yep.
so all right. So back to you, Jimmy.
Oh yeah, where are we? Emily, mayor of Cultra Town,
Mm-hmm.
Enrique Fidike Teo,
Father of the chosen one.
Yep.
Eric Wester,
Uh-huh. Is he from Rhode Island?
Like Westerly. Is he a Westerly person?
Could be.
Franklin Gandiaga,
Mm-hmm.
Fred Wills,
Fast Fred from Cheshire.
hells yeah, Joffrey Miller, Heidi Stearns,
And Foster,
JJ Duran,
GJ.
so far away.
Jackie A. Smith. She upped her donation, so I think everyone should
Up yours too.
up theirs.
Up theirs. Up yours.
Jacques Sarbach, now of the
Jacques.
West Coast.
Of the Bay Area.
Try to get out and see.
The Bay Area is Bucks.
I want to get out and see Jacques next year, but also selfishly, I just want to go run in the Marin Headlands again. I haven't done that in a minute.
I ran into Ben at who went out to hang out with Jacques and race with him in Sleeping Giant. So,
oh, cool.
Which was
so
cool.
when Jacques moved out there, I tried to put him in touch with my son, who also runs. He lives in San Francisco, and my son looked him up on Strava and said he's too fast for me. And I was like, "Come on, he's just a nice guy. He'll slow down for you."
Yeah, Jacques will
just fucking bring him up. Bring him up a get.
Just tell him, listen, Jacques slummed it with Jimmy for 10 and a half hours on a Pemi loop, which Jacques could have probably done 9 hours, no problem, not even broke a sweat. But Jimmy's slowing his poor ass down. And Jacques was cool with it. We had good conversation. Oh, Jake Coutinho. Jake's a pickleball player. I'm going to go. You know what? That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to get up with Jake in the next week or so and rage pickleball with him. Yeah. Jamie Myler.
We got to have an all pickleball. We should have a pickleball tournament.
Let's do a league. Let's do it. Ultra. You have to have completed one ultra in the last 5 years. And then boom, and then your name goes in, and we just randomly put you on a team and shenanigans. Let's go take over that. Dude, that court in East Hartford was bumping, dude. Last night was I'm like, this is a Monday night in East Hartford. This is the best scene I've ever seen. It was rad, dude. People were hanging out.
It's better than Run Club.
I'm seriously running is great. I'm like, what am I going to do with all this fitness? I'm going to use it for fucking pickleball. That's what I'm going to do. Oh my God, I'm terrible. All right, Jamie Myler. Jank, where you been, my dude? Jessica Crandall. Jessica won the ladies race at the Macedonia 50K.
Oh, nice. Damn.
She by a lot, by maybe an hour, I want to say.
Somehow,
I'm not going to go look it up, but you know what? Jimmy always makes specious claims, so go fact check my ass because I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, fight us.
Yeah. Jillian Ellefson.
Oh, yeah.
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Trail Sharts.
All right, Joe.
Joseph Morris Rowe.
He was on the show too, Jimmy.
I know. He was on every streets. I think I was still on the show then. I think I just missed that episode. Just a plotter.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Kowski. Karen Prado.
Plato.
It's Prado, but okay. Kelsey Eng.
Mm-hmm.
Lanzalot. Laura Ricci.
That's cat.
Lauren Edelman.
She did that run across the state there too, right?
Sure did, yeah. Hey, can you do the next one, Fred?
Yeah. Loud Dog.
Nice.
Right on.
Leanne Zargare. It's our friend. It's Lenny's mom.
Yeah, she's got it going on.
Yes, she does. Liz Vicious 30.
Mm-hmm.
Macho. Mark W. Kelly.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
Mark Kelly had a great run at the I think he was fifth. Good day. Macedonia.
Nice.
Hold on.
Marty DeCow.
There you go. Matt Nelson.
Schmilson.
Matt Nelson almost died 3 years ago. He had blood clots in his lungs. He writes if you follow him on Instagram, he's a really great musician, but he also does he has an online journal, like a Medium type thing, whatever, that you can read his random thoughts and stuff. Matt's a pretty quality human being. Go check him out. Michael Lopresti, or as I like to call him, Loprezi Foshizi. Michelle Pom Pom O'Neill.
Oh yeah,
she was at the finish line, I think, of the race. Right?
I believe she jumped in earlier with. I think she was with Bessick. I think they ran with Will, and then I think they went down to the finish line or something.
I went to watch UConn play this weekend football.
Ooh, with UConn has a football team.
They do. They fucking they destroyed Merrimack.
Okay.
Oh, that's
weird.
I do
They're
know.
literally a terrible football team. But like, I was like, Merrimack has a football team? Like,
Wait,
did they just
Merrimack
like, get a bunch
College?
of people together?
I-
Yes.
Was that
Spoiler
is that in
alert, they
Lowell?
don't.
Is that on the Merrimack River in Lowell?
I don't know. But they don't have much of a football team because UConn is one of the worst teams in the country and they beat them. So,
Are
They
they UConn's D1?
yeah.
they
That's
were
weird
up.
because they have all that basketball money. They don't share it with the football team.
No.
No, they
Damn.
just they've had some energy, right? They had some energy, I think, when they were in the Big East. At least the games were exciting. They weren't like really good, but they weren't really bad, you know. They were pretty good, you know. They're fun to watch, and it was fun to watch them this year too.
But the Big East for football was different from the Big. Like I'm thinking of old school Big East basketball, but then Big East football was different, right? It was like different.
It was just, it was for me. I just liked it because I went to one of the schools I went to was Rutgers.
Oh yeah,
and my wife went to West Virginia.
Okay,
and then we had UConn. So UConn would play West Virginia. UConn would play Rutgers, and
Pitt and Syracuse.
Way back in the early '90s, though, those teams all used to be in the Atlantic 10 conference.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah. The Big East like poached the Atlantic 10.
That's right, Big East, and then the Big East became like a super conference, right? I'm so glad I stopped paying attention to sports. Like I don't know any of this shit. Like I know, and I like, yeah, I remember people were like, "Yeah, dude, Villanova's playing Marquette. It's a Big East game." I'm like, Marquette's in fucking Wisconsin. How are they in the Big East? And people are like, "Oh yeah, they restructured and blah blah." And they were like,
"That's right." Yeah.
I'm like, "Dude, basketball sports sucks now. I can't."
Hey, let's talk about the Big West, right? Speaking of the big, after we talk about microscopic porcupine, we can talk about the Big West with Miles Victors.
Miles Victors out in the West, out in Utah.
That's right.
Yes. Wait, so the Big West who was the Big West? Was that like Fresno State and all them schools?
No, Miles Victors.
Oh.
Yeah.
He lives in Utah.
Oh, okay.
That's where I'm going.
I see what you're doing. You're doing an inside joke that nobody understands. I love it. Right. All right, keep going.
That's what I'm about, right? If it gets awkward, keep going.
Art, we have inside jokes on the show, and then Art has inside jokes with just himself.
Trust me, it's really deep inside. But once you get them, you'll laugh.
Yeah.
Once you catch up, once you dumb motherfuckers catch up. So join our Patreons, and we'll give you all these secrets.
Miles Victors from Utah.
Yes.
Mommy Craigery. I love Craig. He's a quality dude.
Yes. He keeps Ding Dong in line, right?
He definitely is. Celeste has
much as anyone.
Celeste has many foils. The one person who foils Celeste the best is Stefan.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. And that's only because Stefan is a world-class pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And I say that with all love. I say that with all of the love for Stefan. I love that guy.
I'm taking the next one, Monkey Stuffer. So Monkey Stuffer was just at a cross-country meet, and she was cheering people on by saying, "You'll be so sorry when this is over. You'll be so sad when this is over." So she used my line on them and dropped me a note to let me know that. So I appreciate her sharing that with younger minds out there.
Did anybody flip her off or anything?
And for reaching out.
Yeah, David.
So
if you want to take over, you want me to keep going?
Why don't you keep going? You're doing a great job.
Number 78, name.
Name.
You
fucked up. You're fired. Go ahead, Fred.
Fred, you take it over. Go ahead.
All right. Nat Zilski. It's nothing. So
got nothing. Sorry.
Nicole Cash and Carey. Peter Ko. Tots.
Mm-hmm.
Robert, our podcast friend. Prairie's Cocoa Panties. Rebecca Gonzalez Kreisberg sank the Titanic.
That's right. Single-handedly.
That's all it took.
All head full.
Richard runs trails on YouTube, finishes Traveler 100.
Mm-hmm.
Not on YouTube, though. He didn't finish the Traveler on YouTube, actually. Well, maybe he did. Rob the Bear Breckenridge.
Yeah, Rob the Bear has Breckenridge. He actually prompted our deep conversation last week on the podcast. So thank you, Rob, for your deep thoughts.
Deep thoughts.
I just think of that Saturday Night Live skit.
Yes.
But that's where I live. So,
okay. Ron Lacandro.
Ron Lacandro.
Ross ba Belak.
I'm loving it.
Rufus and Brenda Chafee Fortin Chafee Chocolatey Chicken.
Right
Is it
on.
Chafee or Chaffee? I don't know.
Both.
It's both. Both
The
Chafee.
first one is Chafee. The second one is Chaffee. It's like the Roosevelt. It's like FDR and Eleanor. They got married. One was the Roosevelts and the other were the Roosevelts.
Right.
So it wasn't weird because they both had the same name when they got married.
Yes.
I mean, before they got married. So
right.
I went to his museum. I know this shit. Fight me.
Run the Whites at midnight. Do it, people. Rusty Red Wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Horses on submarines. Sam Dibdall.
Oh, yeah.
Sandy Barbells.
Sandy Barbells. I got to call up Sandy because she just did a nice run the other day. And I think she just got back from Kilimanjaro.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So I got to talk to her about that.
Cool. Yeah, she did Killy.
There you go.
19,000 or just
not everybody can do that. I think some people because it's a hike up to 19,000, and I think some people hit the wall at lack of oxygen.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
Yep, but it's easy if you're pumping barbells, right? Sorry, that sounded inappropriate there.
It's easy if you're Killian. It's easier if you're Killian.
Yes,
there you go.
I'm sure he doesn't have the record anymore, but I remember when he was doing when Solomon was doing the TV show about him.
Yeah.
And they showed him doing up and, he was up and down really fast, whatever. And I was just like,
I think it fucked him up though, a little bit.
Maybe.
What do you mean?
Well, I think it was like the first time he did okay. And then the second time he was like, ooh, this is
Did he actually say, ooh, or no? That was you?
That was me. Yes.
I don't think Killian's ever said, ooh, this is difficult.
No, I know.
He
for you. He meant this is difficult for you.
That side of Everest, though, I think. Right? Some of the climbers were like, I don't think he really did it.
Right.
Yeah. So we could have a whole show on that if this were a climbing podcast.
We could. Did he free solo Everest? Sorry.
He did it without supplemental oxygen. I mean,
yes. And he was on the Tibet side. And he did not take any, he didn't verify with any means that he was actually on the summit, and he did it. Then he went up the next day, and I think the same thing happened. So it was like unclear whether or not
Strava. Didn't he have a GPS? I thought he
was on his Strava.
I don't think the Strava ever confirmed that he made it to the summit. I think it was really close.
I'm going to hunt for it.
I don't know.
Okay, we're going to find this out.
That there was a controversy. Some climbers were saying like he never made it.
Why don't we get Marathon Investigation on this shit?
Why don't we get Killian on the show and let him?
Yeah, okay. That's
why don't we get him? I'm sure we could. Could we get Dakota? I think Dakota Jones would be more interesting.
Yeah.
No offense, Killian.
Okay.
But I've read Killian's book and it's okay.
I couldn't get. I was just going to say I couldn't get through Killian's book. It really,
It's called Run or Die. I'm like,
yeah.
Is that the only options? That's the only two? Fuck.
Run, but also
eventually die.
Run, then die. So that's what I always said. Like New Hampshire should change their state motto instead of live free or die. Live free, then die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That makes sense actually when you think about it.
Yeah.
So running and being just isn't good enough anymore.
Apparently not.
Okay.
We've gone to another level.
There you go.
Attorney Sarah Porras, suing and crewing.
That's right. If you need somebody to sue for you, call up Sarah and talk to her too.
I know people to whom she's given some excellent legal advice on debtors' rights. So
yeah.
So bravo, Sarah.
Yeah.
So I recommend her. Big Scott Johnson.
That's right.
Simon C. Edgett.
Oh yeah.
Sco Buffs. So Steve last week went all the way to Nebraska, to Lincoln, Nebraska, to watch the Nebraska-Colorado game, and Colorado got beaten pretty handily. So
spanked.
Yeah, they got spanked. Sorry, Steve.
Not as bad as Merrimack.
No, but Merrimack, come on. They were going to like a dorm going like, all right, Who plays football? Come on out. We're playing UConn today.
How many players on the team?
Yeah,
I don't know,
that's
Coach.
right. Who can throw? You're the quarterback. Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh,
Um, Slurpee runner
that's right.
Nice.
all around
Jimmy's
Philly.
protege.
Around Philly.
Wait, who is Slurpee Runner?
He's a guy from
Philadelphia
Philly.
dude.
He's
Oh,
a
you
guy.
might
Oh,
be a
that's the guy,
Delco.
right? Okay,
Might
yeah.
be a Delco guy, really. I don't know. Could be.
That's such a Delco thing to do is like celebrate fucking Slurpees and go for like that's such a weird Delco thing to do. Ugh.
There you go.
Hey, I got your back, Slurpee Runner. Let's fucking hang out. Next time I'm down, I'll hit you up. I'll be down for Thanksgiving. So
Get cooking.
yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna do the turkey trot in my hometown. I will not be doing the Manchester Road Race.
All right.
What? You're going to do the Know Your Pace race the week before?
Well, I mean, it would be pointless to do it because I'm not going to do the race. So I'm going to be down in Philly. Oh, it's also my 30th high school reunion, guys. Does that mean I'm old as
Awesome.
fuck now? Like,
No, you know why? Because I had my 50th in
yeah.
May.
I had my 45th eighth grade.
Oh my God. You have an eighth grade reunion? Jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't go for that shit.
I'm like, everybody who I graduated with eighth grade I graduated high school with, I'm pretty sure, except for like one or two kids, whatever.
Yeah. We
Like
were
the
a tight
private
bunch.
school, whatever. Yeah, I was gonna say my class of '94, we were a really tight bunch, and this is gonna be so much fun. So
Good.
I'm gonna try to set up a group run with some folks and stuff, and
Oh, that's a
yeah,
flex.
yeah.
What was the name of your high school?
Haverford Township Senior High School, not to be
All right.
confused with the Haverford School, which was the fancy one over in. So it's weird. It's
Hartford.
Yeah, it's weird. It's Haverford Township is in Delaware County. Um, and then the town is called Havertown. So I lived in Havertown, but then there was like Haverford Township, which is like Haverford, and that was up against, then that, was like the main, quote unquote, the main line. So like Rosemont, Bryn Mawr, Ardmore, that was all like over there, whatever, Villanova. But yeah, I grew up in a place with very little culture. We did not have a movie theater in my no, we had a movie theater in my town that closed when I was a kid. Yeah, it was weird. But I grew up as most Americans do without like a lot of really good culture. So I had to go down to Philly a lot to get that. But I'm done.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Steep
This moment-
endurance.
This moment has been brought to you by Steep Endurance.
Brian Van Hyden.
Right. Steve Estramera.
Mhm.
That's he's the Conquer the World guy. Is
Yep.
that- Yeah.
CTW.
Yeah. I did one of his races. I did that one in Pauling, New York.
Yeah. No, they're good races. I like them.
Yeah.
I like them.
It was pretty challenging. It was it's a fixed time race, but it was a pretty challenging course.
Yeah. I did a 6-hour and a 12-hour of his.
There,
So
there was one hill in the race that that on Strava was called the Mofo. So it was substantial. Okay. Ty. 10 junk miles. Get some while supplies last.
right on.
Right on, Scotty. The Blue Hills contingent. Jimmy, did you go on Scotty's vinyl podcast?
I was on it a while ago with I brought Frank Zappa. I went up against Led Zeppelin 2 and I lost. Apparently I brought on Frank Zappa's Hot Rats, and I believe it's the lowest rated album of all of the albums that he's had on his shows.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, this is just the kind of people we're talking about. These are not a nice way. A lot of the albums that are being submitted for Essential are very boring. It's a lot of boring stuff.
Zeppelin 2 wasn't boring.
Well,
Well,
no,
Zeppelin 2 is a no-brainer, though. That's the thing. It's a no-fucking
Yeah, it's
brainer.
like low-hanging
every,
fruit
there's
for-
6 or 7 Zeppelin albums. Like every Zeppelin album up until Houses of the Holy, or no, Presence. I would say no, up until not Presence.
Presence. It's
No,
3.
physical graffiti. Presence you could leave off, but you have to have physical graffiti, House of the Holy, and then the first 4.
Yeah.
But that's like a no-brainer. So who's going to bring on Zeppelin 2? I'm like, that's like fucking low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
So I want to see people bring on more stuff that's like, which Peter Gabriel albums are essential? Like, people are bringing on like Bob Dylan. It's like, yes, dude, every Bob Dylan album's probably going to end up being essential, except for fucking Street Legal. Or I don't know. And Bob did have some bad albums in the 70s.
Yeah,
right?
some of his newer stuff, but back in the day, like all the old everything from his eponymous album through
Like Up to Desire, maybe, right?
through Desire.
Like,
They're all essential.
And
Yes.
then after Desire, you could skip until what? Time Out of Mind? What?
Yeah,
19
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like a 20-year spread there, probably.
Yeah,
But
during-
like, I know, and I love Scotty, and I love the premise of the show. I just wish some of the listeners would bring on some more adventurous stuff, instead of just bringing stuff on that like you already know. Like it's like being like
Thin Lizzy Jailbreak.
I mean, they did like Beach Boys Pet Sounds. Yeah, like I would love to hear somebody argue why Thin Lizzy's Jailbreak, or why,
It's actually, you fucking listen to that album. I mean, it's Thin Lizzy is hard to I don't know, put them in the same in the same room with.
Who did you mention last week? Bachman Turner Overdrive?
Yes.
Let's put Bachman Turner Overdrive up against like Supertramp. Let's see who like.
Yeah. Actually, Supertramp's got some pretty good stuff.
Supertramp does. Supertramp is progressive rock, but they're poppy. I always
REO versus Journey.
So there you go. REO Speedwagon versus Journey. Oh my God.
Fucking shoot me once or shoot me twice. Double tap, please.
No, and I know Scotty listens to this, so he's gonna be like, Jimmy, what the fuck? But I'm gonna be like, I mean, there's like people were bringing on like really like popular stuff, right? I think somebody brought on Blonde
Abbey
on Blonde, or like no, Bringing It All Back Home, or Highway 61, and I'm like,
oh, come on.
How are you gonna have a Bob, like every Bob Dylan album? There's like 25 Bob Dylan albums that I can consider quote unquote essential. I don't know. So I'm looking up on my wall right now, and I'm like, I don't know if I would consider Bjork to probably be Patti Smith, definitely. Emmylou Harris.
Like the original Patti Smith?
Patti Smith, Horses.
The Horses?
Yeah,
Horses album?
that's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody should listen to that.
So I have that and Easter from her. So like, but I also have I have Laurie Anderson up here. I have PJ Harvey. I would probably consider like Bjork. I would consider Bjork, but maybe not them two. I would consider Portishead. I also have Bobby Gentry. You know who Bobby Gentry is? Yeah. So I would consider that to be essential, just because I believe that's the first album that a woman wrote, produced, recorded, and like played a bunch of the instruments on, or something. I think from like 19. Yeah, she had a ton of hits too, whatever. And then Bobby Gentry literally just disappeared from the music industry in 1975, and no one's heard from her since, whatever. And she's a super interesting artist. She was just like, hey, I'm gonna do this shit my way.
Some mamas and papas. Yeah,
so like that's another, like, what if somebody brought on like the Byrds, Mr. Tambourine Man? I'm like, yeah, of course it's essential. Like what like it's kind of hard to, it's a really hard thing to, what defines essential, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'd like to pick one that other people didn't even know. Say, listen to this album, and then fight me if you think it's not essential. Because like one of my top albums is John Mayall, The Turning Point.
Okay.
Fucking awesome.
All right.
You should get it and listen to it. It's great.
I think I just heard one of his songs the other day, and I was like, who the fuck is this? This is good.
Oh, because it was probably Jimmy Page, or like who's guitar on that album?
On John Mayall's album?
Clapton?
No, he played on that album was a guy named John Mark was playing fingerstyle guitar. He has no drums, and he has saxophone, guitar, and vocals, and it's like really.
Did you say no drums?
No drums.
So Ainsley Dunbar had to sit this one out?
Yes, yeah.
That's bad when you know John Mayall's drummer.
Speaking of music here, because I want to interrupt this.
We got to get back to
I heard Jimmy. No, I heard your oh God, what was it? You played some keyboard on the on Facebook.
Oh, the Massive Attack thing?
Yes.
Yeah. I've been putting stuff up on Instagram, and
it was it's the with your head on the finger.
No, that's the Pixies.
Yes, the Pixies.
Yeah.
So I got out my keyboard and I was inspired to play it myself. So
that's
so that was cool.
I freaking love that song.
I thought that was great. And I just kind of played along.
When I meditate and I can't get calm and I can't get still, I'll start doing like, where is my mind? And I'll be like, because All right, let's put some lipstick on this pig.
Yes.
We're so close. Look how close we are.
Oh, have you guys heard the latest album from the Lazarus Crew? They're like DJ Jazzy Jeff.
That would be a good name for
And the Lazarus Crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would it be though?
Is it
indie rock?
Opening for them, Lazarus Crew.
hold on. Let's
Well, they had
the last few names here. The last
or
few names.
Nazareth.
Listen. The last few names here. You got to tell what kind of band or what kind of artist they would be. The Lazarus Crew is it's uplifting indie rock.
Okay.
All right.
Tom Staradai is a singer-songwriter.
That's right.
Acoustic guitar and harmonica only.
Like early Dylan, right? Yeah.
Tony Di Damasio. Tony, he is he's a crooner. He's like Sinatra.
He's Sinatra. I was thinking that he was a tenor. He's the newest tenor.
There you go. Oh,
yeah, okay.
Ultra Walker. That's an EDM band. They're playing they're headlining the next rave down in at Randall Island. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought
Ultra
that
Walker, Ultra Walker just be like just boom, house music.
Walt Hammer was actually they played like that song Autobahn.
Ooh,
Bahn Autobahn.
Du liebst Kraftwerk, ja. And then you got William Keep Running Bro on YouTube horror. Definitely metal. Definitely like genty metal. Like very like they're playing 8 string guitars. So they got like the low B string. They got the weird stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's what Will. That's the kind of band Will Horror would be. Exactly, with the Cookie Monster lyrics. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Cookie Monster technical metal.
So, or as we, yeah, Sesame Street Core.
Have you ever seen Will play? You know, Will's a really good guitar player.
I've heard him scream.
He's a good screamer, but he can play
Yes.
like he can do like all that crazy, like sweep picking and like he's really good metal guitarist. Yeah, absolutely.
Very good.
And he's a hilarious dude. He had me cracking up when I was running with him. I was supposed to be making him laugh. He's cracking me up the whole time.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I mean, just hearing his karaoke that he did during the cut was that was on point. So
yeah, I definitely have to do another road trip. I definitely have to do another thing with him and Bessick because that was a hilarious trio down in Georgia last May.
gotcha. Yeah, I got to get some shit on the calendar as well. So, what do you think, guys? We done here?
I think we're done.
I think we're good.
All right. Well, listen to all of our listeners out there. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully, you got a good long run in today or a long drive. And I guess if you've made it this far, seek professional help. And we will see you all in a mile.
Mile and a half.
All right. All right. Very good.
Clear.